Good morning, this is Jack from the Art of Chart.net, and this is the pre-market recording for Wednesday, the 15th of May. Our disclaimer, we do this for educational purposes only. We're here to share our technical analysis with you. We hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. We're not here to issue trading signals. Right, yesterday, nice move up, made the double bottom target I was talking about in the 50 area and reversed there so far. Now, Stan was talking about it not, ideally not crossing 30. It's crossed below 30, and the reality is actually if it breaks much lower, then we may well go straight down towards the lows. However, at the moment, I'm looking at a 5-minute chart. I've got a possible falling megaphone here, and we've just hit resistance at this recent low at 28.1750. So if that holds, we can go a little lower on a retest, but not a lot lower. And then I've got trendline resistance in the 28.64. 46 area, and on a break up from there, I'd be looking for at least a retest of yesterday's high, and ideally a move up into about the 70 area. That's slightly above the declining resistance on ES, but it's a pretty good match with what I'd be looking at as likely resistance on SPX. I would still like to see that other leg up. It doesn't mean we're going to see it, but I would like to. We've got obvious targets above on NQ as well. Got this trendline resistance in about the 7500 area. On RTY, I've got this trendline resistance in about the 1566 area. And DAX, I've got trendline resistance up in about the 12070 area. ESTX alone has broken trendline resistance. And I'm looking, if we go higher, I'm looking for resistance at the weekly pivot. Obviously, we need to hold support this morning, or we could go directly down. So we shall see. All right, looking at the RTH charts. ES made the possible near miss target on the daily sell signal. No positive divergence on the RSI 5. If we go and retest the low, as soon as we retest that low, we will have some positive divergence on the RSI 5, and I'll be watching that carefully, because that will be a possible daily buy signal brewing. On SPX, hang on, let's go. SPX, we've got pretty much the same, except we didn't have the daily RSI 14 sell signal at the high. We are on a daily lower band ride. Now, the daily lower band, the 2SD lower band, is at 28.34. Now, we may well find that's resistance now. We could still be on that lower band ride, in which case we're trading currently between the 2SD lower band as resistance at 28.34 and the 3SD lower band as support at 27.98. Those could be the loose boundaries of where we would be looking at today. And you will note yesterday that rally closed back below the 2SD lower band after the late day decline. We could still be on that band ride. If so, we're going to have pretty strong resistance in the 30 area. So it's going to be very interesting to see whether that holds. If we do go higher, what I'm looking for is this trend line here, and you'll note it's very hard to see the 50-hour moving average here, and that's because it's tracking this resistance trend line. They are together, double resistance. I've got that currently at about the 28.69 area, and I'd be looking, I was mentioning yesterday, at the top possible target area, 28.65 to 9. We are still looking at that possible resistance area. So if we go higher, we shall see. We are still on RSI 14 buy signals on the hourly charts on all of SPX, NDX, and RUN. So we shall see. All right, okay. Let's have a look at CL. Now, CL, I was talking about having pretty decent resistance, no particular reason to think it was going to go up from 62. We didn't go up. ES went up, CL did not follow it. We had the same late day decline though. CL started slightly earlier, I think, but what we're doing here is we're deciding whether or not we're going to do a marginal higher high in a sort of flag type setup, or we're going to go directly down to the open bear flag target in the 60 area. We have yet to make that decision, and it could go either way. I'm probably going to go the same direction as ES. NG. NG has reached a trend line I had marked in, which is possible channel resistance. This means, unless this channel breaks up, this is a likely bear flag channel, setting up a retest of this low. We shall see how that goes. But if it is going to break up, then that opens the upside. If it isn't, then we're probably going to see that retest. If we see that retest, I would expect that to be the second low of a double bottom. Okay, GC. GC, we are breaking up from double bottom that's got a target in the 13-14 area, and this looks like a bull flag which is about to head on back up. Waiting to see whether we see that. SI, less clear setup here, possible IHS, but it's rather choppy. I'm mainly just looking at the weekly pivot as possible resistance here, and monthly pivot on a break above it. I've got key resistance level at about, I think it's the 50 DMA at about 1510, which needs to be broken to open the upside properly. HG has looks like a bear flag. flag. I've got an open double top target down below at 2.69, and I'm expecting that to get reached. We've got resistance now at about the 2.8125 area. ZB. ZB is a fascinating setup. I was talking about this yesterday, but really this is an amazing resistance trend line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. And we're about to get 7. I was writing on the chart last night that as we had just hit this intraday, we were likely to go and see wedge resistance in the 149.30 area. We made that overnight, and we may be, where are we right now? 150.01, so basically we're testing that trend line. That trend line's been holding like a champ so far. If it breaks, then we're probably going to be looking here at a bearish overthrow, but I'm still really expecting to see a retest of this high fairly soon. So mainly I'm just regarding this as very strong resistance for the time being. We may well see another reversal there today. DX. DX. We have, I was talking about the possible falling wedge here. That wedge is very close to resistance. In fact, I think it's out testing it now. If that breaks up, then we're going to likely to see a retest, because this is a likely bull flag wedge. We're likely to see a retest this high, and we will see how it goes. If it doesn't break up, then it's going to return back to wedge support, which is currently at about the 96.8 area. Okay, EURUSD, nice looking wedge, broken down. This is not a flag setup, but it's still indicating probably lower. GBP USD is hitting some trendline support. I'm thinking that may well hold, and overall lean is higher. Possible 60-minute buy signal brewing. USD JPY. USD JPY we have broken down, we have back tested, and at the moment I'm not seeing anything to indicate that we're not on the way back down to the double top target in the 106 area. We shall see. USD CAD, that's been kicking around here. If DX is about to break up into a retest, chances are we're going to see that retest again on USD CAD, and that's why it's been hanging around here waiting for that retest. Australian dollar, nice looking falling wedge here. This is breaking down slightly below wedge support. This should be a bearish underthrow. I'm looking lower. We shall see. All right, NZUSD. Sorry, not usually covered, but just waiting for a break of this resistance trend line, which is now crossing the weekly pivot. Right, KC. KC, this is kind of looking like a flag to me so far. If it is a flag, then it's likely to break down into a retest this low. We shall see. SB needs to break over resistance in the 12-10 area. Hasn't broken that yet. We could see another leg down if it doesn't. CC, I was saying that we could do further downside if we didn't break back above monthly pivot and weekly pivot. We have not done that yet, and we could see further downside. If we are, if we can break and convert these to support, then I've got a nice trend line target in the 25.50 area. Okay, CT. Sorry, CT. Don't usually do. ZW. We are possible double bottom breaking up here. The bigger double bottom resistance in the 482 area, and I'm wondering whether we're going to see a break up from there. Corn has broken up over here. This isn't a double bottom, but this is a very strong move. No current negative divergence. RSI looking pretty impressively short-term overbought, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to turn. And soy, we have broken up through resistance, the trend line and resistance here. This is a possible IHS breaking up with a target in the 880 area. Monthly pivot, of course, is at 875. So we shall see. All right, great. Looking at questions. Okay, recap of SPX ES. All right, 2800, 3 standard development, standard deviation, Bollinger Band, yes, approximately, just under. ES, is there a path directly to an ATH retest? Yes, retest this low, break up to 2900, break back over the daily middle band. It's basically as simple as that, and the monthly pivot, obviously. ES, is 2722 the double top target? No, it isn't. We currently don't have any open patterns to the downside. It's the obvious support. What I'm looking for is 2722. Hang on one second, let's have a quick look. Right, what I'm looking for here is this. If we see the move back to 2722, then that is an obvious completion of a head on a head and shoulder neckline. At that stage, we either, 2722 is actually up here. So that's the head and shoulders there. What I'd be looking for is a bounce back up either into just over 2800 and fail from there, break down the head and shoulders with the target in the 2400s, 2500s, or alternatively, we go back, retest the high, and probable double top there. Likely, we would see one or the other. And that's what I'd be expecting to see. ES, we are making a decision right now in terms of whether or not we are going to go and retest the low directly. I've got a nice looking support here. We're at the last real support trend line at about 28, 15, 16, and it's trying to hold. I've got some trend line support here, and it could be underthrowing bullishly at the moment, and we've got a 5-minute buy signal brewing. If we don't hold this support, then we're going to head down into a retest this low, and we could just head directly lower from there. So we shall see. Until we see that, I'm expecting, I'm leaning towards this being a flag, basically setting up a higher high to be made today or tomorrow, and we would see how it went from there. But it may be that it's not going to do that higher high, and it's going to break down directly. We are in the process of finding that out now. All right, great. Is that everything for questions? Looks like 28, 15, 16 also. Oh, well, I'm looking at the SPX lower bands, which is what I tend to do all my stats on. I haven't. ES is slightly different. All right, guys. Anyway, that's a wrap. I'll have this posted as soon as possible. Should be a very interesting day. So we shall see how it goes. All right. Cheers, guys. Bye.